Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is my weekly entertainment wrap-up for February 24th through March 2nd. This week I read 2 books, I watched 3 shows, and I listened to 1 book. The first book I read was Captain Marvel, Earth's Mightiest Hero Volume 1. Given that the Captain Marvel movie is finally coming out soon, and my book club wanted to read something kind of short for this month, we decided on a graphic novel. Since this is a comic book character I don't really know much about, and it can be super daunting to just dive into the 70 years that a character might have, I felt that this issue did a really good job of giving us an idea of what Captain Marvel's backstory is. That being said, this wasn't an origin story, and it wasn't a this is what you missed in the past 70 years of publishing, or however long this character's been around. If it weren't for the fact that I've read some of the Ms. Marvel comics, and I know that Carol Danvers used to be Miss Marvel before now being Captain Marvel, I wouldn't know that part of her backstory. For the most part, I really enjoyed this. It's just making me even more hyped for when the movie comes out. The one thing I didn't really like is I didn't jive with some of the art style. Just the way this artist does faces is very strange to me, but it's not like that made it unreadable. I still enjoyed the experience. The other physical book I read this week was A Heart and a Body in the World by Caletti. This is something I saw in quite a few daily vlogs in the Contemporary-a-thon, and I figured I had to pick it up. And I'm very happy I did, because I really enjoyed it. Of course, it also made me cry, but we know that those things are not mutually exclusive. This book starts out with a girl being harassed at a local food place in Seattle, and she just runs from there. She decides while she's running that she doesn't really want to stop running until she makes it to Washington, D.C. You find out pretty soon that something traumatic has happened to her about 9 months previous, but you don't know what it is for the majority of the book. She embarks on this journey, which gives her mother absolute panic attacks, but her grandfather decides to follow her on the journey in his RV to make sure she's safe. The hype for this book is real, friends. It made me feel a lot of emotions. I had a lot of time wondering what had happened to her. And although I had guesses throughout the book as to what was in her backstory, they changed as new information came in, and yeah, she went through something. This book is hopeful and sad and realistic, and like I said, cried. I actually posted on Instagram stories that I cried at the end of chapter 12, and Julie from Pages Pens was just like, that is not going to be the last time you cry, take care of yourself. And I did, thank you, Julie. So if your heart can take it, I highly suggest picking up this book. On to what I watched this week. We watched more of Fear the Walking Dead. I believe we're very close to the end of the 2nd season, and so much happens in every episode. We've gotten to a point where some of the characters have split up and characters are in different locations, so we'll go whole episodes not knowing what's going on with certain characters. And this is a storytelling approach I actually really enjoy. It's right up there with watching movies where there are different characters that haven't met yet, and you realize at the end of the movie when they meet that that's the first time they've ever actually met, even though they've heard about each other. I also accidentally saw the cover for the 4th season at work the other day, which has a spoiler on it for me, but that's fine. When I get there, I'll just pretend to be surprised for my friend's sake. This week, of course, I also watched 2 different seasons of Survivor. We are currently in season 17 in our Tuesday night dinner club, and then of course the current season is season 38. As I've said before, when I watch 2 different seasons, they kind of just mix together in my head. But the things I appreciate most from what I watched of these seasons this week is Sugar just going back to her own little island and just hanging out all the time. I would love that experience. And then in season 38, I love how they were able to leave it on a cliffhanger. And then of course this week I also watched about 3 episodes of The West Wing. This show, of course, is great. This is a rewatch for me. I'm watching it with somebody who's never seen it before, or at least not seen all of it. So there's several points where they're just like, ooh, I hope this continues to be a thing, or ooh, I'm rooting for these people to get together, and I can't say anything. Finally, onto the book that I listened to this week. I listened to Do Not Become Alarmed. This one is about 2 families. The mothers are cousins, and they go away on a cruise around the Christmas time. Basically, one of the mothers lost her mother recently and doesn't want to do regular Christmas, and this is a good alternative. In the one family, we have a movie producer and an engineer. In the other family, we have a movie star and then a stay-at-home mom. I think that's what she is. She used to be a teacher. And then each of them have 2 children. Going into this, all I knew is something bad was going to happen. Obviously, with a title like Do Not Become Alarmed, obviously there's going to be something that is cause for alarm. And this book did a really good job of faking me out a couple of times near the beginning as to what was going to happen to the children. And then things got terrible. This is another case of characters splitting up, so you see them in different locations and trying to get back to each other, and I guess I'm just a really big fan of that storytelling. This book has definite trigger warnings, and also there's a side story that I still haven't decided if I really enjoyed that it was there or if it could have been handled in a different way. But overall, so many things happen in this book and it really keeps you guessing as to what the resolution is going to be. That's it for this week. If you've read, watched, or listened to any of these, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!